This Roblox player counted the steps on his staircase every night, and at night, there was always one more. In the daylight, there were 13 steps from the top of his stairs down to the kitchen. But in the dark, when he counted them with his feet, there were always 14 steps instead. What was waiting on that 14th step is something you truly need to hear before you climb stairs tonight. Leo was 13, and he lived in a tall, old wooden house with a long, steep staircase. His bedroom was upstairs, and the kitchen was down below, and the stairs connected his whole small world. He had walked up and down those stairs thousands of times, in the light and in the dark. Leo had a small habit that he had carried since he was very little, which was counting things. He counted his steps, he counted ceiling tiles, and he always counted the stairs as he walked. For his entire life, that staircase had 13 steps, no more and no less, every single time. 13 going up in the morning and 13 going down at night, steady and certain and safe. He was a calm, logical kid who liked numbers and games and things that always added up correctly. The wood of that staircase was dark and old, and it creaked and groaned like a living thing. Every step had its own voice, and Leo knew each one, the way you know a song by heart. He could walk it blind and half asleep, landing each foot in the perfect place every single time. Every night, he stayed up late playing Roblox, then crept downstairs in the dark for a drink of water. He never turned on the light because he knew that staircase better than he knew anything else. His feet knew every step by heart, so his eyes had never once been needed in the dark. His little sister Mia, who was 7, slept in the room right across the hall from his. Their parents slept downstairs, so at night the top of the house belonged only to Leo and Mia. For 13 years, walking down those 13 dark steps had been the safest, most boring thing imaginable. So the first night there was one extra step. Leo was absolutely certain he had simply miscounted. He told himself he was tired, and that his sleepy feet had stumbled over their own familiar rhythm. But a small, uneasy part of his mind had already begun to count that staircase far more carefully. And Leo was about to learn exactly where that ancient little fear had truly come from. It happened late one night, when Leo went down for water the same way he always did. He counted each step under his breath in the dark, the way he had every night of his life. He reached the number 13, and he lifted his foot, expecting the flat, cold kitchen floor below. But his foot did not find the floor. It found one more wooden step waiting there in the dark. His whole body lurched, and his heart slammed, and he grabbed the rail and counted it again. 14 steps in the pitch black on a staircase that had held exactly 13 for his whole life. Here is a real and well-studied fact about what your brain does on a staircase in the dark. When you walk stairs, your brain builds a rhythm and predicts each step before your foot ever lands. It is called the phantom step, and it is why you lurch when a stair is missing or one too many. In the dark, you are not using your eyes at all, you are trusting an inner map of the stairs. So Leo told himself his tired brain had simply added a phantom step that was never really there. But the next morning, in the bright daylight, he walked down and carefully counted them once again. There were 13 steps, solid and ordinary, exactly the way there had always been before. He stood frozen at the bottom that night, one foot on the extra step, breathing hard in the darkness. The step felt exactly like all the others, solid and cold and real beneath his bare and shaking foot. The extra step only ever appeared in total darkness, and it never once appeared in the light. Leo started testing it, night after night, the way a scientist tests something he cannot yet believe. In the light, always 13, and in the dark, always one more. Patient and silent and wrong. He tried counting up in the dark instead of down, and going up there were only ever 13. The extra step only appeared on the way down, as if it were pulling him deeper into the house. Then, on the 5th or 6th night, the dark staircase did not stop at 14 steps at all. He counted 14, then 15, then 16 steps down into a darkness that felt far too deep. Each dark descent felt a little longer than the last, as if the house were growing beneath him. There is a real reason your own familiar staircase can betray you so completely in the dark like this. Your brain keeps a detailed inner map of every space you know, built from movement and not from sight. In the dark, you walk entirely on that inner map, and if the map is wrong, so is the world. And when you are tired and afraid, your mind can fill the darkness with steps that are not truly there. He started leaving his phone flashlight on, and in that small light, the staircase behaved perfectly again. But the moment the light went out, the extra step returned, silent and patient, waiting at the bottom. And almost every old culture has a quiet, uneasy story about a step that does not belong to the house. They speak of a 13th stair, a step that is not yours, a threshold you must never willingly cross. The warning in all of those old stories is always the same: to never trust the stairs in the dark. Leo had been trusting those dark stairs and counting their growing steps for almost 2 long weeks. Then came the worst night, when he went down for water and the bottom simply never arrived at all. He counted past 20 steps, then past 30, still descending into a cold black that had no floor. The staircase he had known his whole life had become an endless drop into the silent, patient dark. Leo turned and scrambled back up, counting frantically, and this time the top arrived after only 13. He stood at the top, shaking, staring down into the dark mouth of a staircase that made no sense. So he finally did the one simple, smart, and safe thing he should have done from the very start. He reached out in the dark and he flipped on the light switch at the top of the stairs. And in the warm yellow light, the staircase was just a staircase with 13 ordinary wooden steps. Here is something genuinely important, and it is true whether the extra step is real or only imagined. You never walk up or down a dark staircase half asleep, trusting only your feet in the black. You turn on the light, you hold the rail, and if something feels wrong, you wake somebody up. Leo told his parents everything, and they checked the stairs, and they counted 13 solid steps together. They did not laugh at him, and they left a small nightlight glowing on the stairs every single night. For a while it worked. The light stayed on, and the staircase stayed 13 steps long and safe. Leo began to believe that the light had closed whatever door the darkness had been quietly opening. Then, on the 8th night, his little sister Mia padded into his room, pale and frightened and confused. She rubbed her eyes and quietly asked him why he had been standing on the stairs in the dark. She said she had seen him down there, on the very bottom step, staring silently up at her door. But Leo had been lying in his own bed, wide awake, the entire time that she had been watching. Mia refused to sleep in her own room that night, and she climbed into Leo's bed instead, trembling. The two of them lay awake until sunrise, watching the dark doorway and the top of the silent stairs. Something had been standing on that bottom step in the dark, wearing Leo's shape, staring up at his sister. And Leo had never once left the safety of his own warm bed during that entire long night. And here's the part of this whole story that I truly need every single one of you to understand. It does not matter whether it was a tired brain miscounting or something living on a step made of darkness. Both of those answers lead to the exact same rule that finally kept Leo and his little sister safe. When the dark takes away your eyes, you do not trust your feet, and you turn on every single light. You hold the rail, you tell the people who love you, and you never walk down into the black alone. The extra step had no power at all on any of the nights that Leo kept the staircase lit. It only ever existed in the dark, on the nights he trusted the map in his head over his own eyes. Darkness does not add steps to a staircase, but it takes away the only thing that keeps you honest. The most frightening thing was not the endless drop, and it was not even the shape on the bottom step. It was that the step had been there in the dark all along, patiently waiting for him to stop looking. After that night, Leo never once walked those stairs in the dark again, for as long as he lived there. The family kept a light glowing on the staircase from dusk until dawn, every single night without fail. The small nightlight on the stairs became the most important object in that entire old wooden house. The extra steps stopped appearing, the staircase stayed 13, and slowly the fear began to fade away. Leo let himself believe that the whole terrifying month was finally, safely, and truly behind him. Then one night, months later, the hallway light flickered off for a single second as he passed the stairs. And in that one dark second, out of an old habit, Leo counted the steps down with his eyes. He reached 13, and then his eyes found a 14th step waiting silently at the very bottom. But Leo did not walk down, and he did not count again, and he did not step into the dark. He simply waited the 2 seconds for the light to flicker back on, and the 14th step was gone. He never again let himself walk into darkness, trusting only the map inside his own tired head. He turned around, walked back to his room, and slept with his lamp glowing softly until the morning. And Leo finally understood the one thing that every story about dark staircases had been trying to teach. The steps you cannot see are the only ones that can ever truly hurt you. So you always bring light. Have you ever felt an extra step on a staircase in the dark? One that was not there by day? Tell me exactly what happened down in the comments below, because I really do want to know. If you watched all the way to the end, then you already know to never trust dark stairs again. Subscribe so you never miss another story that keeps you and the people you love a little safer. Take care of each other out there, and I will see you again in the very next one.